Hey guys, I'm here today to update you guys on the baby. We named the baby Asher Bexley Dudley, and he was born on March the 13th, 2 pounds, 2 ounces. I delivered him at 26 weeks. If you guys haven't seen the previous video with the complications of my pregnancy leading to me having him early, please check the description below. And I have my phone with me. I do have notes that I have been taking on baby Asher as I speak with the doctor, and just so I can keep up with his progress and how well he is doing. Baby Asher started on a ventilator due to he was born at 26 weeks. He was on a regular ventilator that they put every baby on. As a couple of days, they seen that that particular ventilator wasn't doing him energetic, wasn't doing well. His heart rate kept dropping. So what they did was, due to his lung was not mature enough at his particular age, they upgrade him to a high frequency ventilator. With that high frequency ventilator, that ventilator was doing most of the work for him. And it was just basically a little scary if you actually see the baby on those particular ventilator. They
Like
chest,
vibrating.
yes, and the chest was
Yeah.
beating fast, and they had him on the stomach. It was scary. Even when
Yeah,
you touch him, it just didn't. It was weird.
and then they warn you before you go up in there. Like,
It's a little different. It's
yeah,
not like the previous ventilator he was on. But it was doing most of the work with him. So they kept him on there about 2 weeks. Yeah,
yeah,
two
about two
weeks.
weeks.
Just so, and when they did the ultrasound on his lungs, they seen that his lung had matured a lot much better than what it were when he first born. So they was able to take him off that particular ventilator and put him on a CPAP. The CPAP machine basically is just reminding the baby to breathe. So it was not the fast pace and vibration that he had on that ventilator. It was just every couple minutes they'll give him pumps. I can
Yeah,
give him pumps to remind him to breathe. So he started off as a high frequency, I think like a 19 rate. Then they was able to wean him all the way down, and they was able to take him off that CPAP machine. So that's just based off, that's basically by his breathing that I can explain to you guys. And when they took him off that second ventilator, they was able to take the breathing tube out of his throat also.
yeah. I take the tubes out of his throat.
Yes, the breathing tube, they took that
Uh-huh.
out when they took that ventilator away from him. So on the CPAP, he just had the oxygen, and he still was on reminding him.
Hmm.
But the breathing tube was out, so I was like, yay! So that's
Yeah,
a good
that was,
process.
and
Progress.
they tell you, before all that go on, that is like the main little threshold that they be trying to get over the breathing.
Yes. So we went over with the breathing with you guys. So now I'm just gonna talk about the IV. When he first born, of course they started IV on him. That particular IV lasts a couple of days, and they did ask for permission to put a pit line IV in him, which can last longer. That pit line, I think, can last up to 28 days. So I gave them permission to give him a pit line, which they put that pit line. I think it was in his leg.
It was in his legs first.
That pit line, that long thing.
Oh no, that was in his arm.
That
No,
his
it was
leg.
in the leg. I
Yeah,
think.
it was in his
Yeah,
leg. The first IV was in his foot,
yeah. The first IV was in your foot.
and they put the pit line in his leg. It was close to his foot, but they put it in his leg. So with the pit line, it lasts up to 28 days, like I stated. I gave them permission for that, and basically that's what's bringing in the fluid with him. And of course, they was still feeding him. They was able to take the pit line out On March the 29th, they was able to take the IV from him. So
Mm-hmm.
that was another progress that we was happy about. That okay, yay, he could be able to get more food and less IV.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a blessing.
And once he did that, oh, he started eating.
Yes, and he was very active.
Mm-hmm.
For to say that he was, born on early, he was very active. He had gave the nurse a run for it.
Mm-hmm.
Very active, want to move around, and and they were like, Asher, it's
Asher.
yes. Okay.
Asher is Asher.
Yeah, so let me just go over some of the dates with you guys. On March the 25th, the, the doctor did call me at home and stated that his red blood cell went down. So by his red blood cell went down, they had to give him a blood transfusion. If you haven't seen the video of the blood transfusion or what I went through in the early pregnancy with him after I had him check, the description below, those links will be in our description for you guys.
So y'all can be caught up with everything.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to stop his feeding for a couple hours to give him the blood transfusion. So when they gave him a blood gas the next day, his red blood cell went up. Everything was back to normal with his blood cells. So that was a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
With his feeding, of course, they started him off low. And then they was able to upgrade him. I think they was doing like little by little each and
Like,
every
yeah.
day. And his feeding, get him a little bit more, a little bit more. And they were basically giving him more to actually gain weight and to keep up his weight. So when he was first born, I did advise you guys that he was 2 pounds and 2 ounces. So basically he went up each and every day. He went up, then sometime he went down. So he started gaining weight on March 19th. He got that next ounce. He was 2 pounds 3 ounces. And he just went up March 21st, 2 pounds 5 ounces. I was like, okay, Asher, you should get to this other pound. I like, cause I'm like, okay, I want you to gain this weight. But of course, it was going up and down around that particular time. And then March the 25th, 2 pounds 10 ounces. I'm like, oh, he getting there. He almost there. Just a couple more ounces. He there. He almost at 3 pounds. So then a setback. The next day we were 2 pounds 8 ounces. I'm like, oh my God. I'm talking to him like, man. But the doctor like, it's gonna do that. He's gonna go up and down. He's gonna go up and down. But as a mother, I'm looking like, come on, son. You gotta gain this weight to get on out of here. You gotta get out of here. Cause I want you at home. So, basically, let me see. On April the 3rd, you remember I told you guys that, they weaned the CPAD. That was on April the 3rd when they did that. And his nose was swollen. His
Mm-hmm.
his nostril was swollen, so they called me and they was advising me that they had to start him on the little saline drops, and they also put other drops in there for to get the swelling down. So they did that for a couple of days, and
Like,
his nose started again, normal, back
like
to
two
what
to
it
three
was.
days.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they still do the saline drops. Of course, that's something I have at home also. But they still do the saline drops when his nose dry, or just for to get everything out there to clean him out and everything. When they took him off the CPAD, they advised us that he was way more calmer. He was way more happier and was not as fussy as usually. So he was sleeping more. He was not tossing and turning. But of course, when he already eat, they know it was time for Asher to eat because he's going to cut up when it was time to eat. Um, then on April the 13th, his heart rate, it started dropping. and he a month old now. On the 13th, he a month old, and this when his heart rate started dropping. He was going up and down, and he was having spells that he was dropping that they didn't want to drop, and it was staying over like 30 seconds. So they had to write that down because it was over there at a particular time. So he was having those spells more than usually than they liked it. So it was like 5 spells a day, and the doctor was like, okay, he looked fine, he looked well, he been Asher, but babies this young, if they have an infection, those are some of the signs. His blood gas, everything looked fine. His lab work looked fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send some more lab work out and check his urine. So they did all that. His lab work they sent out looked fine. The urine, Asher had an infection. That particular infection was a urinary tract infection. So they had started him on the antibiotic before that lab work came back with his urine, just in case he had the infection. So he was on that antibiotic like 2 days before they realized he had that urinary tract infection. So that was great. He just wanted to be on the safe side. So when that came, they was like, okay, he's going to be on there for 5 more days. So they check it again. It wasn't always gone. So they expanded it to that whole 10 days for Asher to being on that antibiotic for the urinary tract infection. So after that, he was great. And he finally gained his 3 pounds on April the 18th. Yay! I was so excited. And ever since April the 18th, I sure been gaining weight ounces like nonstop. So basically, the doctor called me again. He went up another ounce another day. I'm like, oh, that's great. Then he went to April the 24th, 3 pounds, 5 ounces. I'm like, oh, he gained weight faster than that. So it's like, I'm going to go up on his food a little bit more so he can maintain his weight. I'm like, okay. Every day they going up on his food. Every day. So now Asher he went up to, on April the 28th, he went up to 3 pounds, 8 ounces. And when we spoke to them on what day? On April the 30th, Asher was 3 pounds, 13 ounces. So he gained weight nonstop. And of course, I spoke with her on May the 1st, and she told me that his weight went down to 3 pounds, 10 ounces. She's like, you lost a little weight, but that's fine, that's normal. And the reason why he lost weight, you guys, is because they had just started him on feeding on April the 30th. I went up there on April the 30th. That was his first day of actually taking a bottle. They were trying to start him on bottles. And he sucked it. He sucked the bottle and he was like, eyebrow went up. I was like, here's something different. Of course, he do suck pacifiers, but the bottle is just something different. He ain't used to that milk. So that's something he got to get used to. So they going to start him off, with one bottle a day just to see how he taking it to get him used to it. But they told me it's normal due to, right now he had 33 weeks. If he was in my time, he would have been 33 weeks. So that's great what he doing now. And of course, on May the 1st, his weight went down. And they said he took a little bit more of the bottle than usually. He took like 10 cc's, they told me, of the bottle on May the 1st. The first time he took like 5. So he making progress with the bottles. And so that's the update of that. And the only thing else we have to update you guys on is the ultrasound they have been giving him. So the first ultrasound they gave him on his brain was March the 18th. And that's when he was first, born. After he was first born, they always give the baby the ultrasound to make sure The brain is not bleeding. Everything is good with the brain. They gave him another ultrasound when he turned a month old on his brain. Everything looked good. And they also started checking his eyes weekly. So the eye doctor will come in there and check his eyes probably twice a week, or at least once or twice a week. They'll check his eyes. Everything is looking good in his eyes, as the doctor said. The eye doctor is stating his blood vessels look good. They are mature, of course, because he's still young, but everything is what they are looking for. I forgot what it called, but they told me it's nothing to worry about. It looked great. And his eyes are looking good for his age, and just the blood vessel look mature, which
Mm-hmm.
in they going to look like that he was born early. And Asher, he just
A,
being
a
Asher,
character.
yes.
He's a character
He
already.
yes, he do open his eyes, he look around.
He's
He
nosy.
yes, very nosy. And he do not like to be, he don't like light, too much light. He do not like to be bothered when he sleep. You bother him when he sleep, he gonna cry. And his crying, you can tell his lungs is getting stronger because his cry is getting louder
Mm-hmm.
and stronger.
And he likes looking at the sky.
Yes.
He love the sun. They had him by the window. He ain't wanted to turn the other way. He wanted to turn towards the window.
Yes, he like to look out the window, but they don't move him now to the front.
Yeah.
They done moved to the front.
He
So
ain't
now
like
he
that
looking
at
at the
first.
nurse, and he a character. When
He ain't like that at first.
yes. After all that, one thing I did forget to tell you guys is about the oxygen he on. So due to they started feeding him, they are trying to wean him off the oxygen. The oxygen level that he are in is anything between 25 and then he go up to 30. But the flow is like he go from 2 to 1. So that's good. They told me that's normal for his age. And they're trying to wean him off that oxygen. The oxygen can damage the baby eyes, and that's something that's why they check his eyes more frequently, just because he on oxygen, to make sure that they don't mess up his eyes. But they told me right now everything looking good, but they trying to ease him off the oxygen. And Asher breathing too fast. He have to slow down and breathe. That's why they started on the once a day. You gotta know when to breathe, when to suck. So he doing good with the pacifier, but
Yeah, he love it pacify.
he love it.
He love it pacify.
And now he are able to get wrapped up in a blanket, and he love it. When I tell you he love it, he's love it.
And that's
But
all he would like to do is smile.
yes,
Smile. He smiles so much.
he do.
Smiles so much. That's all he do. Smile.
Yes.
Every time you go up there and talk to him, he can be asleep. You go over there and talk to him. He wait.
He'll
He
be not be
blinking his
asleep.
eye. He blinking his eye like, oh, I hear you.
He do not be making me sleep.
I hear you.
I ain't never seen no baby don't sleep. That baby don't never sleep.
He like, I hear you. I hear you. Where you at?
He don't sleep hard. I like, and then when we get ready to go, we don't be want to leave. Like we leave. We try to make him go back to sleep. Cause like Asher be like, we were like, bye Asher. Asher want to get all the way up.
I barely say bye.
Yes.
I barely say bye. I go over there and touch you like, okay, bye bye. But I ain't finna say bye.
Yes. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of the update of baby Asher, and he'll be home sooner than you guys think. But his progress is
Tremendous.
yes, it looking great. So hopefully the next video on Asher, you guys will actually meet Asher. And that's all for this video. And don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. And don't forget to share with your family our channel.